Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I'm not going to be rescinded this time, am I? Just teasing.
We'll stand by.
Stand by. All right. Virginia was the second state to submit their Volume 2 initial proposal. We're talking about BEAD on September 27, 2023, almost simultaneously with Louisiana, who received approval from NTIA on December 15th. Virginia is widely regarded as among the most advanced states for administering its broadband programs. So what's the problem?
Our requirement, we require that every state, when they submit their initial plan, meet the requirements of the law and of our funding notices, and when they do, we can approve them.
What did they not meet in regard to the law? Because what they got back for concerns was, and I promise you, Mr. Joyce and I, who asked you about this earlier, we did not talk about this until after he'd asked his questions, but the response back was an exact, the feedback request Virginia include one of two things in its required definition of its low-cost option in its Volume 2. An exact price for what will be the only acceptable low-cost option for BEAD-funded broadband services, regardless of provider or location in Virginia. Exact price. A formula by which one could apply and thereby derive an exact price. ... All right, tell me. If that's the problem, how are you not saying you've got to give us a price that we like, or else you're not going to be approved?
First of all, I would welcome the chance to review the communication you're talking about. I haven't seen it. I don't know it.
Right there. All right.
And
we'll
the
do that after
context
the
matters
fact.
quite a bit.
So let me ask you this.
But sure. Yes, sir.
Let me ask you this. Despite the discussions that we've had today about explicit prohibition on rate regulation, it appears that NTIA has strongly encouraged states to set a $30 price cap. So on the 7 states you just told us about that have been approved in the District of Columbia, did they have a $30 price cap?
They did not.
Did they have a specific price?
Some of them had a range.
Had a range.
Yeah. So we've really accepted, I really do believe we are open to a wide variety of approaches from states. I think as approved plans, you will see that we are accepting and approving a wide variety. They do have to
put together a pretty good plan. What really is the problem if it's not this low cost price that you all don't think is sufficient? It meets the law, it just doesn't meet your recommendation. Isn't that true?
It does not. I'd have to take a look at this.
You cite me the section of the code. It does not.
Right. The law requires a low-cost option to be defined, and a low-cost option, in our view, it has to be an affordable low-cost option. We've been very clear. The statute's clear. Our funding notice is clear. You have to be able to understand what is affordable. And many states, plenty of states have submitted, not had trouble doing this, submitted plans that actually make it understandable.
Because they've given you actual ranges of prices as opposed to a plan to get it deployed. Look, my people want to have broadband.
And we want them to.
And we'd like for it to be affordable, no question about that. And Virginia's trying to do that. And guess who the big impediment is? It's yourself. I apologize to you, but you all seem to be the problem. Virginia could have been moving already. We've lost 6 to 8 months on this.
Every state has to be able to submit a low-cost option that we can understand is affordable. When states do that, we will approve their plans, and I'm optimistic. I
hear you, but it's not happening. Last week in a different House committee, Department of Commerce Secretary said in regards to broadband plans, quote, "What I can promise you is that we're not regulating. We are not telling any state, quote, if you don't provide it at X dollars, we're not going to give you the money. But the statute requires us to have low-cost options, so we are obviously pushing states to make sure they are providing low-cost options," which is very similar to what you are saying today, but isn't that a distinction without a difference? Aren't y'all splitting hairs in order to say we're gonna force prices, even if it's a range, we're gonna force prices, we're not gonna let you set up what works best in your state. As Mr. Joyce said, you're not allowing that great concept of the founders that the states would be the hotbed of
I said the laboratories of democracy, because I echo it, sir, because we really believe it, and you see it in these plans. There's a wide variety of approaches, and we do believe that the statute says that it has to be an affordable, low-cost option.
If you believe it and you have the power to do it, why aren't you? I yield back.